Hey guys, next up on my review is Batgirl number 4. Now, in the last issue of Batgirl, Batgirl lost in a fight against Mirror. She got pretty beat up, and basically she goes back to her roommate's home, Elijah's, where she lives right now, and basically she got patched up by her, and now we go into issue 4. So what happens is that we start off with Batgirl in a wheelchair. Now, this kind of seems odd. Why is she in a wheelchair? What's going on? We realize, yes, Batgirl, or Barbara Gordon, is having a nightmare about Mirror and why she's able to walk again. She basically has a nightmare because, of course, she doesn't, want this miracle to happen to her. She says, even in her dream world, this other Barbara Gordon she sees looks at her and says, all these other people who deserve miracles, why do I deserve it? Why do you deserve to walk again? Why, why all this and stuff like that? And, basically she's scared and she wakes up from a nightmare. And what happens is, she goes downstairs and her roommate, Elijah, is downstairs in front of the Christmas tree. It's almost, Christmas, 2 days before Christmas, actually. And, she feels a bit lonely, and basically she opens up to Elijah. She tells her, about the wheelchair, that she used to be in a wheelchair, and maybe she sort of feels like she doesn't deserve to or belong in it. And she talks about her mother, how she walked out on her when she was only 12 or 13 years old. And, her dad's been pretty beat up about it ever since then. And so what happens is, after that, she wants to open more, to Elijah. She wants to tell her more, but then she realizes, wait, I'm Batgirl. I gotta go patrol. Sorry, roommate, I need to go out. So she actually goes out and patrols, the city of Gotham. Now, what's the funny thing is, some of these, thugs actually have a locator for Batman. I forgot who designed it, but someone said they designed this locator for Batman. So there's this locator that shows where Batman is, and the thugs find out where Batman is, and what they do is that, okay, Batman can't stop us from mugging these two, innocent civilians. So, of course, without Batman there, they start mugging these two. They start, roughhousing them, taking their stuff, opening their presents, and of course, Batgirl shows up, and they're like, oh, they don't have a signature, like a tracking device for this girl, and of course, Batgirl beats up all of them, and while she's beating them up, she's trying to figure out a way to get Mirror, because then she got overbeat last time, and she knows that she can't really physically fight him in a hand-to-hand combat, because if she does, she would lose, and she knows that. So she has to find a way to take him down without fighting him as much. So what she does is she actually realizes that, he has a family. Well, technically his family's already, passed away. They have grave sites, but what does people always do on Christmas Eve? They go visit their family, they go gather around, and actually that's what Mirror does. He goes to his wife and 2 daughters' gravesite and visits them. And what Batgirl does is that she leaves a note for him, and criticizes him and stuff like that, and makes him pissed off, and tells him to meet him at an abandoned amusement park. And basically, Batgirl uses his family as bait, and of course, Mirror didn't like that. So what happens is Mirror goes to the abandoned amusement park, and they duke it out, they fight. Of course, Batgirl knows that she can't really physically beat him to a pulp because he's bigger and stronger than her, but she tries to use her smarts, and she actually does use his family's death against him, because of course that's even Batgirl's fear, so she has to use her fear basically on him. Like, she feels like she doesn't deserve to be walking again, that this miracle doesn't deserve, she doesn't deserve this miracle. And same thing with, Mirror, that he doesn't deserve to live. And, for him thinking that he doesn't deserve to live, he thinks that other people who has miracles happen to them, they don't deserve to live. They deserve to die if they were going to die. They can't cheat death, and Mirror can't, face that fact. So what happens is Barbara Gordon uses that against him. She uses her, uses the family's death on him by saying, like, your 2 daughters would never wanted you to do this, your wife would never want you to do this, they want you to be happy, why are you doing this, and stuff like that. And basically that's what gets him, and he freezes in fear sometimes and gets really pissed off and can't think about what he's doing, and of course Batgirl takes him out. And after taking him out, she goes back home Christmas Eve, and she's spending time with her roommate Elijah and opening presents. And we hear a suspicious knock on a door. Now, I don't want to spoil, any of this for you guys, but I want you to read this issue. I really like Batgirl. I really want you guys to support this issue because, Batgirl is doing okay right now, and I want to see, even though Barbara Gordon is walking, and some people don't want her to be walking, they want her to be Oracle again. They feel like they're just destroying her character as making her Batgirl again. But I still like this issue, even though, some people have their own problems with it. But if you guys really like Batgirl, I highly suggest you keep reading because the ending of this issue, I don't want to spoil it, but it's really great. It's a really great plot twist, really fantastic. Great issue. I mean, for, basically the reason why I sort of like this is because Barbara had to use her own fear to get Mirror because she was scared of, walking again. So what is his greatest fear? So Barbara learned something there, like Batman using his, using his fear to steer fear into criminals' eyes, and it's just a great thing to do. Highly recommend you guys picking this up, and that's my review on Batgirl. Next up,